which of the tips of Indeed, sorry, do you think are the best for learning English? Are there any you don't think would work for you? I usually like the idea of like the sixth one, where you have to start thinking in English, because I think that's more useful. You start making sentences and you start like thinking through the words and everything in general. You start being more curious about words and blah blah blah. I think it's the most useful, and the least useful for me is the one with the songs, where you have to learn the lyrics. I almost never understand songs, and I think it's because I'm kind of deaf. So yeah, it's the least useful for me.
Well, I agree with Elizabeth about the sixth tip. It's really useful. You keep practicing not only the pronunciation but also the ability of thinking fast. So sometimes we don't get to get that skill on other languages, and I think that another useful tip is the reading. You learn vocabulary mostly. The one that doesn't work for me, I think it will be the vocabulary app. It's not like reading something you like. It's more like, it feels more like a job, a work to do, a homework. So it doesn't really work for me.
Well, for me, in my case, it worked the number 5 and 6. The songs, I used to read the lyrics and then search for certain words that I didn't know and then learn them. And the sixth one, my mom is an English teacher, so she often speaks in English in my home. Where she orders me to do something, she does it in English, and I need to reply in English back. If not, she said, I don't understand you, and that kind of bothers me, but it helps me. And the one that I don't think works for me is the app, because I don't know, I don't like when I need to learn something from an app. I like it more face to face. It's more like human, and sometimes the vocabulary in the apps are just too limited. So that thing.
Okay, number 2. Are there any tips that you could easily put into practice? Well, I think almost all of the tips on here can easily be put on practice, but maybe the one that might be more difficult to some people is to get a partner to talk with, or someone randomly, because not everyone has the skills of being an extrovert person. Of maybe you just don't like to talk to people like some people. So I think that might be the more difficult one. But the easier one will be the phone, the first tip.
For me, I think I can agree with Gabby about the not dating specifically, but also mostly like socializing with different people, and most importantly with English speakers, so you can practice. I had a ex-boyfriend that lived in Texas, and he wanted to speak in Spanish to learn, and I helped him if he helped me back, and that's how it was done. And yeah, that's for me, that's kind of easy.
I also agree that the easiest one to do is the first one. Is you just have to change your phone. You kind of just don't think much about it. You already kind of know what's in your phone either way. But yeah, the one I would feel like it's more useful and easy to do, I think it's like changing your movies to English and subtitles. I think it's a little bit more useful for listening and that stuff.
Okay, what other things do you do to improve your English outside class? um, reading in English, books or articles, watching movies in English and reading the subtitles sometimes. Social media also, following English speakers, influencers also helps me a lot. And yeah, that's basically what helps me.
I also read a lot of books in English and also generally try to investigate stuff in English because you learn new terms or vocabulary and stuff. But something else I think it's really useful is to like get a group of people and try to all speak English, no matter how bad you are at it. It's just do it and be fun together and be stupid.
Well, the thing I do, especially with my mom when we watch a TV series, is to like listen to the vocabulary that they use, because mostly on American, what's the word for it?
Serious?
No, realities. American realities, like not everyone is from the same city, or even there's like foreigners on that program, so they just use different vocabulary and it's interesting. Some kind of cryptolexemas sería cryptolexem. Well, we don't know, but it's like a really not common vocabulary, and that's what I do. And that's all.
Yeah.